Welcome to the channel, to my latest Warhammer 40k battle report, and I haven't fought against Chaos Space Marines for the longest time. So I'm running the 13th. Yes, it's a classic Chaos Space Marines versus non-Chaos Space Marines Warhammer 40k battle report. 2,000 points. Vashtor, the Archfane, is coming along. There'll be dark packs left, right, all over the place. So I'm unleashing my Space Marines, the second company of the 13th. Lots and lots of Primaris stuff. Janky table set up for a change. That's set up with swift action because we've got quite a few battle line units. Swift action allows you to do actions with the battle line units even if they advance and fall back. And we're playing Linchpin. Linchpin, essentially all the objectives on the table are worth 3 points each, but if you hold on to your home objective, which will be worth 3 points, then the ones outside of your deployment zone will be worth 5. So you don't want to lose this one here to get extra points on the other objectives out there. And the battle map is from urbanmats.com. All the pre-painted massive scenery buildings that you see are also from urbanmats.com. And we've both got quite a few vehicles, which is going to make this item of terrain in the middle of the table very interesting because vehicles can't go through walls. So we might be running around this trying to get to each other. And yes, that's going to count as one big ruin piece as well because you can't shoot through ruins as well. So some strategic deployment and some strategic movement things, shenanigans are going to happen here. I'm rather looking forward to this one. And welcome back to the channel. Poodle, say hi, Poodle.
Hi, Poodle.
You brought along your Chaos Space Marines.
Yes.
I've met these guys once before.
You did, back 2 years ago almost, at Weekend at Bernie's. Fluffy met Gorman Ghastly the Garrotter.
Right.
And one of them didn't live to tell the tale.
I think it was a glorious victory for the end of all things.
I don't think it was.
No, well...
It was extremely close.
It wasn't extremely...
It was the last dice roll of the game.
We had a crowd round us by the end of that game.
It was fantastic.
Death Guard versus Chaos. Yeah. But I definitely think I won that one.
I've got it all written down in the report, in the back wrap. That's the Waff Boot Chronicles blog.
Check out Waff Boot Chronicles blogspot thing.
Yeah.
Because you and Stylus, you run that. Waff Boot Chronicles. I'll try and pin that somewhere.
Yeah.
Let's check out the armies.
Okay.
So this is 2,000 points worth of Chaos Space Marines. They have dark packs.
Yes.
So every time you're called upon to shoot or fight, you roll a leadership test, a battleship thing. If you pass, you can get sustained hits or lethal hits.
Yep, in melee or shooting.
Yes, and if you fail, you take wounds.
Yes, I do, which
Brilliant.
is great fun. So I'll be mostly dark pacting.
And then you're bringing the 1, which means you get lethal or sustained on 5s instead of 6s.
Yes, so I've got everybody apart from Vashtor has got a chaos mark, and essentially the red ones are corner aligned, the green ones, including the cultists, are Nurgle aligned. The Nurgle guys, when they do dark pacts in shooting, they can get sustained hits on 5s.
Right.
The Khorne guys, when they do dark pacts in melee, they can get lethal hits on 5s.
Right.
And the really interesting thing is the 2 Hellbrutes are here, not just because they're quite fun models, but because anybody within 6 inches of them who successfully passes a Dark Pact gets both of their Dark Pacts, and both go off on 5s.
Now I remember this fella.
Yes.
Well, I forgot his name.
Gorman Ghastly the Garrotter. He charged Fluffy the Demon Prince in a fit of heroic foolishness. Didn't cause much damage. I think he took a wound off Fluffy.
Who charges the Demon Prince?
He was after a key ingredient because on the return swipe from Fluffy, I managed to make 7 out of 8 5-up feel no pains, which against anyone else I'd feel guilty about. But
7 out of 8 feel no pains. You took photographic evidence of that moment while people were howling around the table, and
someone was.
That was my face at the time.
So last time he was buffed to the hilt in 9th edition. There was -1 to hit, -1 to wound, 1 to AP, half damage, 5 feel no pains. He was a tank.
Yes.
Unfortunately, this time round he's just got his Terminator armor. And, in Vun, he's got a 4-up in Vun at least, but. Yeah. Oh, and he's got a Chaos Familiar, so once per battle I can change the damage of an attack allocated to him to 0.
Brilliant.
But you will still find it impossible to kill him because of, main character syndrome.
One of the reasons why I might find it impossible to kill him is because you said that you're going to deep strike. He's going to be on his own.
He's on his own, no Terminators, because I don't have any Nurgle Terminators painted up, but I still needed to bring him as the Warlord.
Of course.
And so his game plan he'll be sitting up in the battle barge, coordinating things, and maybe teleporting down to engage on all fronts or something like that. not to stay out of the action.
No.
Just if he teleports in behind a building and completely out of sight, that's purely for tactical genius reasons.
Tactical genius reasons. It'd be impossible to kill because he'll be in a corner somewhere tapping on his data pad.
Yes.
And the reason why you're bringing him is because he is a key ingredient to the lore, to your Chaos Space Marines.
Yep.
So he has to come along.
Yep.
You gave him Death Hex or something?
So there's one of his things isn't relevant because he's not leading a unit.
Right.
He's got the ability to, at the start of my shooting phase, nominate a visible enemy unit within 12 inches.
Yes.
I roll a dice. On a 1, I suffer mortal wounds. On a 2+, I get to improve my AP. Anyone shooting at the target unit improves their AP by 1.
Okay.
That could be useful.
But he could do mortal wounds to himself on that.
And he's only got 5 wounds himself.
And then when he does his lethal sustained dark pact stuff,
he could
do
kill himself.
The Chaos Gods giveth and the Chaos Gods taketh away.
The last time I played Chaos Space Marines against my friend Kraken, I didn't fail a dark pact in the whole game. I'm cheerfully looking forward to failing every single one today.
Yeah, that means you've spent that. Yeah. You've prayed to Tzeentch.
Tzeentch. No, Nurgle and Khorne.
Tzeentch came and helped you last game. This game, Tzeentch is definitely not going to help you. You're going to fail all the time.
Yes.
Okay, there's a second in command here.
There is Gox Hackfiend, who also in that game against you managed to roll 6 out of 6 4-up invuns, although he did then die the next round, but that was also quite funny. He has got the enhancement, the Talisman of Burning Blood, which means that he gets +1 to his attacks and strength, and if he passes his Dark Pact, he gets D3 instead of the 1 to his attacks and strength.
Okay.
He's accompanied by 2 Dark Disciples. They're mostly there for ablative wounds. At the start of the fight phase, I could kill one of them and roll a dice to try and cause mortal wounds on someone they're in engagement range with.
Okay.
While he's leading the unit, that unit gets +1 to wounds in melee.
Really? Okay.
And at the start of any phase, I can nominate a unit within 9 inches and they're no longer battle shocked.
Okay.
Which could be situationally useful if I remember it.
So what unit is he leading for that +1?
He's leading 10 Khorne Legionaries who are tooled up WYSIWYG. So I've got Power Fist, Plasma Pistol, I've got Heavy Melee Weapon, I've got a load of chainswords, bolt pistols and a flamer.
Yes.
Their thing is that they've got a Chaos Icon, so they can re-roll their Dark Pacts.
Okay.
They can re-roll melee wound rolls of 1, and if an enemy is in range of the objective, I re-roll the wound roll entirely.
Right.
Coupled with his +1 to wounds, they could put out quite a bit of pain. Also coupled with their melee getting sustained lethal hits on 5s.
Lethal sustained,
Although really I want access to the wound roll.
Yeah.
But anyway, I wouldn't say no to automatically winning a vehicle or something.
So with lethal or sustained or both with the Hellbrute nearby, with pluses to wound on there, they're going to be really choppy.
Yeah. They'll be going inside a Rhino.
Right.
The only thing is the Rhino's only got transport capacity of 12. So I'm afraid one of them is going to get stuck in the door on the way in.
One of them's already been sacrificed to the Dark Gods.
Yes.
Okay, so they're going to be going around in a Rhino.
Yep.
They're really choppy.
Yep.
What else we got?
Right. Vashtor.
Vashtor
the Architect. He doesn't really fit into this list. I'm thinking that Gorman Ghastly has been trying to develop some more demon engines, and he's called in a consultant for some work. And who should pop out of the warp but Vashtor? Gorman Ghastly obviously is in charge of this army.
Yes.
Vashtor naturally thinks that he's in charge of the army, but we shall see.
Well, you've got a lot of demon engines.
I do have a few. I was tempted. My son was sort of suggesting I should be playing the list that maximises demon engines, but this thing doesn't count as a demon engine, bizarrely.
Doesn't it?
No, it's deep, and so it only actually have these 3 and this.
Okay.
So I don't actually have that many. I'm tempted to get one of the Defilers. That would be quite a fun thing.
So consultant's coming along. He's having chats with your lord, and it's like if the negotiations go well, you might end up with some more demon engines.
I might. Yep.
You'll have to see how you look after them during this battle. Maybe that's why you'll see.
Yeah. So while a demon vehicle is within 6 inches of Vashtor, they can add 1 to the strength of their weapons.
Yes.
Which sounds okay, but is less useful, I think, in the way that toughness has crept up.
Okay.
But we shall see. More interestingly, each time an enemy within 18 inches of him shoots at him, then until the end of the phase, ranged weapons from that unit are hazardous.
Yes.
So that could be quite fun. If you shoot him with a load of bolt guns, expecting to chop through with volume of fire, then that might prove counterproductive.
So I shoot him, my guns are hazardous.
Yeah.
So the best way to kill him is to go up and punch him.
Or with things that are already hazardous.
But if I go and punch him with vehicles, then he's got anti-vehicle 4-up, devastating wounds 4-up. He's very good at killing vehicles. He is the vehicle master.
He can also deep strike, interestingly.
Can he?
Yes.
Nice. Okay then. So he's running around.
Okay.
We've got
talking of anti-vehicle, the Lord Discordant.
Yes.
He has got an ability that at the start of the enemy shooting phase, I pick an enemy vehicle within 12 inches. If you pass the leadership test for that unit, they get -1 to hit.
Right.
If you fail the leadership test, they can't shoot.
Right.
So that's potentially quite pokey.
Stop something shooting.
Or give it -1 to hit at the very least. And in my shooting phase, I can pick an enemy vehicle within 12, and until the end of the phase, anybody who targets that unit can reroll 1s to wound in shooting.
Yeah.
So the only thing about him is those abilities are both anti-vehicle.
Yeah.
He's not very anti-vehicle. He gets a total of 8 attacks at strength 6, damage 2.
Yeah.
And half of those get lance, and he's corn, so I could have lethal hits on 5s.
It's corn.
But both these two, 175 points, I think they're quite fun, and I love the models.
Yeah.
But I think they're not quite as useful as the things we'll talk about now. Perhaps if I jump through to the Hellbrutes.
Okay.
So they're here for the force multiplication, to have those exploding and sustained on 5s. Multi-melter, fist. These guys got las cannon and the power scourge, which would be quite a good marine killer.
Yeah. So within 6 inches of them, when you do your dark packs, kicks off on 5s.
Well, no, but it's technically that you get both the dark pacts.
Right.
Now, what that means is that in the shooting phase, if Nurgle guys would say, "Well, I'm targeting shooting attacks.
Yes.
I want sustained hits in shooting."
Yes.
So they will always go off on 5s.
Yes.
Or criticals go off on 5s, but therefore you get both, and therefore criticals will happen for both sustained and lethal.
Yes.
And these guys in melee would get lethal on 5s, and therefore would also get sustained on 5s.
Yes.
But in the shooting phase, these guys would only be getting criticals on 6s.
Right.
But they would get both dark pacts on 6s.
Yes.
And in melee, the Nurgle guys would get criticals on 6s, but they'd get lethal and sustained on 6s. So it's just about triggering both dark pacts.
Yes.
Because I've got the ability that says Nurgle get criticals on 5s in shooting, and Khorne gets criticals in melee.
Yes.
Then that's what kind of boosts it a bit. I'll be on it. I know
you're on it. You know what you're doing.
I have spreadsheets.
Lethal and sustained in range of these guys, and then shooting on 5s.
Yep.
Punching on 5s.
Yeah. The
other stuff on 6s.
Las cannons.
It makes a crazy kind of sense.
Yeah.
Yeah. Havocs. Okay.
The Havocs never suffer modifiers to hits, whether it's ballistic skill or hit roll.
Okay.
And they're toughness 5, which is quite nice. Raptors will be jumping in from deep strike, probably to score objectives, but they bring a couple of plasma guns, a plasma pistol, and a power fist, so aren't too shabby. And there's battle shock penalties if you're in melee range of them.
Okay.
But they're not really there to do that. I've got Nurgle Obliterators, who are probably the most competitive thing I've brought, because they get their sustained hits on shooting when they teleport in will be quite nasty.
Particularly if they're in range of a Hellbrute and it's going off in 5s.
Yeah.
That'd be quite nasty.
Yeah. And I could, the other thing that's I think quite competitive, not that I'm pushing that, is the Venom Crawlers. So they have got
excruciator cannons.
Yeah, and the thing, they look like they're quite choppy, and they've got in melee they've got 6 attacks at strength 6, AP 1, damage 2.
Yeah.
But the interesting thing is, got 2 these teeny tiny guns on their backs.
Yeah.
Each get 6 attacks at the same characteristics. So at the total they have 12 attacks at strength 6, damage 2. And if they kill something in melee, then their attack characteristics go up by 1.
Yep.
Which weirdly means that their shooting would suddenly go up to 14 attacks.
Yeah.
Snyder's played a game early on in 10th Ed. He ended up with 16 attacks.
Really?
Because he killed 2 units of Nurglings, I think.
Yeah.
It was an interesting object lesson.
Yeah. Kill something in melee, get more attacks.
Yep.
They're already chuck out quite a lot of attacks. They're very anti-infantry, those
They're
guys.
good. I think those guys in particular against your intercessor types will be quite nasty.
Yes.
And then the real anti-vehicle punch is my Mauler Fiend, because
big, chonky.
If I can get him up there, he will get 6 attacks at strength 14, damage d6 plus 1.
Yes.
And then the Lash of Tendrils and extra attacks as well, just to deal with if he gets stuck up against some mission units. And then filling it out are the cultists, which have always been central to Gorman Ghastly's plan. He always likes to recruit from the local populace and sacrifice them for the greater good.
So you've got 30 cultists running around.
I've got this unit has got flamer embedded.
Yeah.
This unit has got a homemade flamer just on an old original plastic Imperial Guard body. And then, so I do have some Rogue Trader models in here.
You do have, Always turn up with a couple of Rogue Trader models.
I've forgotten that.
Squirreled away somewhere.
Yeah. And then I've got some, these are just not regulars, they've got a heavy stubber and a grenade launcher in there.
Yes.
And then actually somewhere in here, look, that's an old lead Necromunda Scavvy from the 90s.
Back in the day.
And another one there.
We're so old.
And then this unit has got flamer and grenade launcher and stubber. Not that I'm expecting them to do very much, but there's a little bit of a sting with Nurgle putting out sustained hits. That the amount of firepower those cultists could kick out is potentially interesting. And they've got sticky objectives.
Have they?
Which is the weird thing that changes across all the various Chaos armies. So cultists and spawn and everything like that just have slightly different rules just to keep you on your toes when you think you know what the unit is.
So you've only got some bikes back there as well.
The bikes will be also zipping around, grabbing objectives. I'm quite pleased with them. Originally this guy had a melter gun, and I realised that I didn't want a melter gun today, so I magnetised an aggressive chainsword pose.
Nice.
On his. He's not quite on the Akira pose because I didn't model the leg coming out to come to ground, but.
All your stuff is magnetised.
Oh yes.
So much magnetisation going on here. Even all the things, all the times. So you've got quite a bit of punch. You've got quite a bit of shoots. You've got quite a bit of battle line for scoring all the things. Quite a lot of buffing going on. I mean, essentially the Dark Pax is the Buffy army.
Yeah.
And then along with the Buffy army, you've got things that buff on top of the buffs that you already have the buffs.
I need a spreadsheet to keep track of it.
But you've got 4 pages of spreadsheets there to help you play the game. I'm very interested to see how this goes because it's, let's have a look at the 13th. And here's 1995 of the 13th Second Company. I have Oath of Moment, so point at a target and I reroll all hits against it and I get +1 to wound against that thing that I point at. And we are running the Gladius Strike Force because I like the flexibility in the Gladius Strike Force. The ability to fall back, shoot and charge, the ability to advance and charge. And what was going through my mind with this one was intercessors now have a rule where they target a unit, they get double the number of shots. It's in the latest Warhammer community update. Go to warhammercommunity.com for all the updates and all the facts and all the erratas for your army. So I brought 2 units of 10 intercessors because one unit can potentially chuck out 40 shots, and I've given them a lieutenant each. So they get lethal hits with their 40 shots. And the lieutenant also has the ability they can just naturally fall back and shoot and charge anyway. This lieutenant, with the guns and his Mastercraft Power Sword, has got Artificer Armour, so he has a 2-up save and a 5-up Feel No Pain. And this one, who's my Warlord, he's got the Honour Vehement, which gives him an extra strength and attack. So 2 units intercessors running around all over the place. They've got battle line. And then 2 units of assault intercessors running around all over the place. They've got battle line. And then 2 units of Hellblasters because I like Hellblasters. I think I've got like 30 of them. But only 10 are coming in this particular fight. Fire Strike Servo Turrets for the Daka. They can overwatch on a 4. Invictor War Suits for the Scouts because they scout 8. Redemptor Dreadnoughts because they're one of the best things in the Space Marine Codex, -1 damage. And then the Gladiator Valiants, I think their thing is... The special rule is if you fire the last Talon at a vehicle or monster, they get +1 to hit or something. But they're my main anti-tank. So I've got quite a few vehicles for Vashtor to chonk his way through. Quite a bit of dagger, some redundancy to spread out here, there and everywhere, and some punch with the Warsuits and the Redemptors. Let's go on to deployment. And we're deployed with this 2,000 point game of Linchpin. I've kept a unit of Hellblasters and Assault Intercessors in strategic reserve because cultists have sticky objectives and it's Linchpin and you just run off of that objective. So I need something to keep the Chaos Space Marines honest in the backfield. And I've got 2 units looking down this lane here, keeping that side honest, ready to have some units to sweep round onto this objective, and then they're in the open and it's going to be crazy. So I need the guns there. The way objectives work as well is it's 5 inches horizontally. So that fast strike servo turret up here is also on the objective, along with the assault intercessors, because you've got a lot of stuff in deep strike. You've got the Raptors, you've got Vashtor, you've got your Warlord, you've got some cultists coming on from Strategic Reserve, and the Obliterators. And then around this side, here's the Pain box full of corn. Down here with a Hellbrute and a Venom Crawler to keep them buffed. And around this side, Venom Crawler and Hellbrute with lots of stuff to keep them buffed up. And then on your objective, you've put some cultists and some Havocs. And yeah, obviously a lot more in Strategic Reserve for you and Deep Strike for you. It's going to be interesting, this game, because there's some really open firing lanes. And then there's some really condensed zero firing lanes. So we might be playing cat and mouse around each other a little bit, which is going to be interesting. So who goes first? After you, sir. And you've rolled a 5. I've rolled a 3. It's going to be Chaos Space Marines turn 1. So the Forces of Chaos go first, and they want to get into no man's land and lock down those central objectives, and also do containment, which is actions within the edges of the battle grid, but not in their deployment zone. Essentially, they need to push. So Gorman Ghastly's Garrotters move into this battle grid. The Bikers are zipping round here, containing on this edge, and a Rhino containing on this edge. That's 6 points. And then this unit of cultists ran forward. They're below, but we put them up there because it's just easier to handle. And they're on this objective as well. And then you ran forward with the Mauler Fiend onto this objective. So you're securing no man's land, you're containing all the things, and there's a bucket load of hate right in the middle of the battle grid. Lots and lots of vehicles ready to push forward in turn 2, as well as all the vehicles around here ready to push forward in turn 2. Of course, the Havocs are staying stationary. They've got some good line of fire. The cultists spreading out a little bit, and there's about to be a bucket load of shots rattling down this flank of the battle grid. Meanwhile, this flank of the battle grid staying relatively free of the Chaos Taint right now. A couple of things to shout out. The Warsuit on this side scouted a little bit forward, and the Warsuit on this side scouted a little bit forward, mainly to get rid of the line of sight from the Havocs on the left there. But we're going to open up the shooting phase with a Hellbrute targeting this Warsuit. Dark Pact.
Dark Pacting up.
That's good.
That's good.
Lethal and sustained on the las cannon.
Yep.
So you can hit. That's just a normal hit.
It's a hit.
Just a normal hit. 3s to wound a Warsuit. And it wounds. I need a 6. It's not a 6. D6 plus 1 damage for 4 damage. Next to the Hellbrute is the Venom Crawler, who's getting buffed by the Hellbrute and firing all of his shots down into this Intercessor squad here. I think at this point I have to spend a CP on Armor of Contempt because they're in the open. Dark Pact it up though. 6 or more.
That's a good one.
That's good. You've got lethal and sustained.
On 5s.
Yes.
So 12 shots.
Yes. Looking for the 5s really. That's another one, look. So they're lethal and sustained. These ones are wounding on 3s.
Yep.
It's a lot of wounds. I need 3 up saves. Each failed save is a death. And that's quite a few deaths.
Ooh.
There's 5 dead. This squad are half wiped out, and there's a second Venom Crawler staring at them. Can you polish them off in 1 turn?
Dark Pact first.
Darky, Pacty, and
6.
we're good.
Yes.
Who the what now?
So it's a corn Venom
right.
Crawler. So he, on shooting, can't get sustained or crit or lethal on 5s. So
Right.
he's going to opt for, well, he's going to get both of them, but they're both going off on 6s.
6s instead of 5s.
Yep.
Okay. And there's a couple of 6s.
3s to wound.
3s to wound. Armor Contempt doesn't work anymore. Just works for 1 shooting attack, and I'm not within 3 inches of a barricade. So these are all 4 up saves. My lieutenant's got Artificer armor, so I have to do some of them first. Look at that, only 1 so far. Just 1.
Good work. Have autocannons
Yes.
going into the Intercessors again.
Okay.
And the 2 las cannons will go into the Redemptor.
Into the Redemptor, right. And you're in range of the Hellbrute
I am.
for Dark Pacting.
Dark Pact.
6 or more again. That
also
passes.
working.
And these are Nurgle, so it goes off in 5s.
Correct.
3s to hit with the autocannons. And then 2s to wound, 1 wound already.
So 3 at -1 again.
-1. So these need 4s. I lose another dude, and then there's 2 las cannons coming in.
Yeah, Redemptor.
Yes. And
yes,
they're both lethal and sustained, so 2 more. 3s to wound.
That's
everything tasty. Wounds. It's AP -3.
Yeah.
I need 5s. I make 2 5s, so it's 2d6 + 1, but -1 because of
6.
Yes. And that is 6 damage on the Redemptor Dreadnought. Do you want to command point that? No, that's just a 1. It can only get better.
Yeah.
Or stay exactly the same. Command point. Doing the command point.
I'm following Sultan's advice for don't use the same dice.
Yes. Still a 1. And that is the end of shooting phase in turn 1 for the Forces of Chaos. Really injuring that Intercessor squad there and cutting that Redemptor down to half of its wounds. Plus they're picking up all the secondaries. It's going to Space Marines turn 1. So the 13th need to sabotage an item of terrain on this battlefield and kill a unit that's been marked for death. So the 13th enact the Devastator Doctrine, so I can advance and shoot, and the Hellblasters didn't advance. They've just moved into this terrain feature here, which they're busy sabotaging, and they're being protected by the Gladiator and the War Suits that want to get rid of that unit of bikers there. I mean, they're kind of in the open, and there's a Fast Strike Servo Turret staring at them as well. And then as for Mark for Death, you did the Cultists in the backfield, which I can't get to.
Yep.
And the 2 Hellbrutes, because you've got a lovely strat, which means that if I get within... they're Nurgle, so you can pop a strat, so I've got to be within 18 to shoot them. Otherwise, I can't shoot them. So what I did is, I made this one the Oath of Moment target, and then I've got a good advance roll with the Gladiator to get within 18. And the idea is, nail the Hellbrute. And then there's a Warsuit here and these guys here, and then there's a bucket full of pain inside of that Rhino and a Venom Crawler and lots of stuff, which is going to counterpunch quite hard on this flank. But there's also a couple of Redemptor Dreadnoughts looking up the pipe. I haven't pushed the middle for now. The idea is, kill that Hellbrute, try and take this objective off of you. So you're not doing the CP on Festering Miasma because you think he's dead anyway.
Yep.
Yeah, okay. So here's the 2 shots from the last Talon from the top of the Gladiator Valiant. Hits on 2s when I'm targeting a thing. They both hit. And I got +1 to wound, so would normally wound on 3s, but wounding on 2s. I wound both of the times. 2 5-up saves. And you make them both. Okay. Multi-melters. Fortunately, you're Oath of Momented. I hit twice. Just twice. It's going to be 3s to wound. Do I CP reroll that?
It's toughness 9, it's force to wound.
Yeah, but +1 to wound because of Oath of Moment. So I think I have to CP reroll this one. And it doesn't help me. You need a 6-up save.
Well, that's easy.
Yeah. And you don't get the 6-up save. D6 damage for 5 damage. Right, I need it dead. So the Redemptor Dreadnought is going to nominate this one to shoot. You're going to spend the CP.
Festering Miasma.
Festering Miasma happens, so I can switch targets. So we'll switch targets to the other one over there, the other Hellbrute. Let's overcook the plasma. And we have 7 shots. So I need 3s. And then I'm going to need 4s to wound you. That's 2 wounds, -4. I've already spent the command point on the reroll. Yeah. You need 2 6-up saves. And it's down to 2 wounds remaining. Let's keep shooting it. So I've got these intercessors here with lethal hits with the lieutenant shooting through at your Hellbrute. And we're hitting them on 3s.
Has that got a different gun?
6s are lethal. The lieutenant's got a different gun, yeah. Look at all those lethals that get through. Did I just roll 6? I did. These are going to need 6s to wound. Look at that.
Wow.
It's a lot of wounds.
I could do it.
You need to make loads of 3-up saves here. Have I actually managed to pull this off with water fire? No.
Oh!
Still on 1 wound remaining. So the lieutenant's going to have to do it. That last wound.
It's lethal.
There's a lethal. These are 6s. 3 more 3s, please. Could you please fail 1?
Oh, God. Come on.
Yay!
Oh,
Dead Hellbrute. Yay.
Does it explode?
Boom boom? No boom boom.
Damn it.
I made it look difficult, but we got there in the end. And now the Warsuit is going to put everything into the cultists. Try and stop you scoring this objective. Yes. In sending a Warsuit cannon thing, adding 3 to this. 2s to wound, ignoring cover. Need a chunk of 6s.
One's alive.
5 more of them burnt to a crisp. There's 2 left. Twin, Iron Hail, Heavy, Stubber. These need 3s to wound. Okay. Those are all 4-up saves. Yeah, they're dead. Yeah, so that stops the Forces of Chaos stealing that objective there. Now we're on to Redemptor Dreadnought number 2. I did the hazardous check, by the way. We passed. And we're going to overcook and fire into... Has the Venom Crawler got a 2-up save or a 3-up save?
2-up. Venom Crawler is 3-up. Disco Lord is 2-up.
Do I fire at the Disco Lord? Let's fire at the Disco Lord.
Both of them have got a 5-up in them.
Let's fire at the Disco Lord. Let's overcook the plasma one more time. This is 4 shots. We're hitting on 3s. And we're strength 9 when we're overcooked. Yeah, just 1 wound came through, and that's 3 damage. Here's the gun that goes brrr. It's going to be 5s, but really looking for 6s. 6s are devastating. There's 2 devastating and 1 2-up save. And I tickle 2 more wounds off. Stormbolter didn't do anything, and the Icarus pod has 3 shots. They all hit. These are going to need 5s. Nothing. It's on 5 wounds remaining. And there's an iron the servo turret.
Yep.
Servo turret will shoot down at it. Try and plink off the last wound. It's 2s to hit. I don't know why I picked up a red dice. Strength 9, toughness 9, but we are twin linked. And so that's 2 wounds at -1. 2 more, 3-up saves. And that's a total of 6 damage.
I don't have the CP.
Oh no.
Damn it.
No boom. Wow, after struggling with my opening salvo, how the turns have tabled, I've got rid of that Venom Crawler because I was worried about him because he can point at a unit and completely stop it from shooting.
Disco Lord, yeah.
Disco Lord, that's the one. Then we come round here where there's a Gladiator, a Fire Strike servo turret and a Warsuit, basically lots and lots of guns, looking at just 3 lonely bikers over here. Yeah, then I fired all the things down this lane. The Gladiator didn't even get to fire. Those bikes are gone. And that's the end of my shooting phase. Got rid of the bikes, got rid of a Hellbrute, got rid of a Disco Lord. Now for charging, this Warsuit could charge a Rhino and stay on that objective. I don't see... I should really, because then you can't put them in front. The guys will be back a bit if I do manage to crack it. And it will move block as well, to be fair. You zipping all the way down here. So the Warsuit will have a go on that Rhino. So we get there, we smash with the fist. We hit on 3s, and at strength 14, we wound on 3s, and they're just -2. So 5-up saves. I can't kill it. But I do take 6 wounds off of it, and I'm keeping you back a little bit, because you can't squeeze through that. You could climb up and over and around that way. But yeah, anyway, the Rhino needs to rev its engines back again. Yeah, we rev the engines on the Rhino back again. No wounds caused on the Warsuit. We've already put it back to 5 wounds on the Rhino because in your turn it repairs a wound. And that is the end of Space Marines turn 1. I end up getting 5 points for marking something to death and killing it. And if the Hellblasters are still there at the end of the Chaos Space Marines turn, I'll pick up an extra 3 points for sabotage. And then the Chaos Space Marines are going to pick up 8 points for the Linchpin objective, plus this Linchpin objective at the start of turn 2. And they've got a Venom Crawler. They've got a Mauler Fiend that can come charging down towards their lines. A bit of a traffic lot up this end of the battlefield. But there are also Raptors in reserve. There are Obliterators in reserve. There is Vashtor the Archaphane in reserve. There is also the enemy Warlord, Gorman Ghastly the Garrotter, you could jump down in as we go to Chaos Space Marines, turn 2. Forces of Chaos want to continue to lock down this battle grid by extending their battle lines, which they've already done, and defending their stronghold, which, well, in turn 2, I can't strategically outflank into their deployment zone, so they've probably got that one as well. Gorman Ghastly calls upon reinforcements, and Vashtor the Archaphane deep strikes right down into the middle of the battle grid, and the Obliterators are up here as well, taking up commanding positions right in the centre. And there is a big push to hurt this flank of the 13th, while this flank round here is still relatively open for now. You spent a CP on recovering wounds on the Hellbrute, and then lots of careful manoeuvring around here, and the Dark Apostle has got out of the transport in order to charge the Warsuit or the team behind. So the Warsuit's in trouble, the team behind is in trouble, the Mauler Fiends come busting through as well, so if the team over here, the Intercessors, get wiped out, he's got a free shot straight in on that Gladiator Valiant there. And with that Venom Crawler stood right behind that Mauler Fiend, that Intercessor squad shouldn't be long for this world. The Havocs, of course, staying still. They've got shots straight up the battle grid, and that Redemptor's only on 6 wounds remaining. So shots, firepower, charges into all 3 of those vehicles down here. Meanwhile, the cultists continue to defend their stronghold, and the Chaos Space Marines, of course, are extending their battle lines. So we opened up the shooting phase on this flank with the Chaos Space Marines firing down into the Intercessors, took a wound off. And the Venom Crawler can't see the Marines through all that mess there, so it's going to Dark Pact and shoot at the Warsuit. And the Dark Pact
works,
passes, and you're hitting on 3s with lots of shots.
Going for sustained hits,
yes,
and I'll get lethal as well.
Yes. So looking for the 5s and 6s. 5 lethals and sustains. Now 5s to wound. So I need 8 4-up saves, each doing 2 damage. That is 6 wounds off the Warsuit. It's still on 2 wounds remaining. From Venom Crawler number 1 to Venom Crawler number 2, hosing down the remaining Intercessors here. Here's the Dark Pact. And you finally fail. And you take D3 wounds for just 2 wounds. So hitting on 3s, and the Dark Pact doesn't go off. So those 6s don't count for anything. And it's going to be 3s to wound.
Yep.
And that's quite a challenge. See, the difference is amazing, isn't it?
Yeah.
And I am right behind a barricade.
Yep.
So 3s, you only kill 1. You really need to kill those Intercessors to get to the soft meat beyond that chonky Gladiator. So Vashtor's got a Flamer.
Yep.
Okay. And that's one hit. Okay.
3s to wound.
Right.
Wounds. AP2, that's fine.
I'm good. I make my save. So Hellbrute.
Yep.
Hellbrute into Warsuit now. It's on 2 wounds. Here's the Dark Pact again. That passes. It passes on the 6. Okay. Then 1 shot. And that's a 5 for a lethal and sustained. Nice.
3s to wound.
Yes. So they both wound.
2.
They're both -3. I need 6s or it's dead. It's dead and it doesn't blow up. Dead Warsuit. But you really want the Intercessors dead. So back to the Havocs one more time, splitting fire. Auto cannons down here into Intercessors. Yep. Where are the las cannons going?
Las cannons are going to go into that
shooting across into the Warsuit.
I was going to finish off the Redemptor, but
right.
Trying to deny you VP.
Yeah, you kill the Warsuit, I won't score that objective there. Okay, we Dark Pacting.
Dark Pacting.
Of course we are. And that passes. That's a good Dark Pact. Okay.
So we'll do the autocannons first.
Right. 3s to hit the Intercessors.
5s will have sustained.
And there's a sustained and lethal.
No, it's not.
Just sustained.
Just sustained, yeah.
Yes, okay. 2s to wound them. You wound 4 times. I'm behind a barricade.
So
I need 3s.
Yep.
I've got to do them separately because he's got artificer armor on the Sarge. So 3s, they're dead. And then this guy's got a 2. He's okay. Now there's a perfect gap for the Mauler Fiend. First, the last cannons into the Warsuit. And they both miss. So the Obliterators are going to try and take down that Warsuit. Here's the Dark Pact. Dark Pact fails. D3 wounds. And they take 3 wounds. The Dark Gods do not like them. So one of them's down to 2 wounds already, and they haven't even fired their gun. And what gun profile are you doing?
Focused Malice.
Okay. So it's D3
shots each.
2D3. That is 2 shots. 3s to hit?
It's 3 shots. So
3 shots. Yeah. 3 shots, yes.
3s to hit?
Yes. Only 1 hit.
And no Dark Pact benefits.
No.
It's strength 12, so 3s to wound. It does wound at least. It's AP3.
AP3 becomes AP4. You're plunging fire. I don't get a save.
So it's 4 damage.
Completely in the open there. Flat 4 damage. It's down to 8 remaining. Then you move the cultists round, so they were in range to plink a couple more wounds off the Warsuit, and plink away they did. That Warsuit is down to 6 wounds remaining. And that is the end of the Forces of Chaos shooting phase. They've wiped out a Warsuit. They've wiped out a bunch of Intercessors, but whiffed in a few places, and you spent the CP on recovering wounds, which is critical, because this is a 4-inch charge from this Mauler Fiend to hit the Gladiator, and no CP for the reroll, but that's a 10. He goes flying in there. And the Chaos Space Marines behind need a 7 to also get to the Gladiator, and that's a 5, and they fail the charge, which is fine because they're stood on the objective. And you want to charge with Vashtor as well?
Vashtor just is going to, because he's there,
yes.
You may as well have a speculative 10-inch charge on that.
10 inches into the Redemptor. Yep. Okay. And that's a 10. Vashtor gets in there. Yeah, and I don't have the CP to interrupt. So let's fight. Start with the Mauler Fiend, who's Dark Pacting, naturally. Probably doesn't need to. And it fails. And he takes a wound. And the Mauler Fiend's putting everything into the Gladiator. Is the big Fists of Doom.
So 3s.
Yes. You missed 3 times.
I do.
Okay. Toughness 10?
3s to wound. Strength 15 at the moment.
Okay. 2 wounds. 2 wounds. AP.
AP is only 2.
So I need 5s.
Yeah.
You're telling me.
Yeah.
1 minute. There's a CP over there. I might want it on the Redemptor. That's an uninjured Redemptor. Yeah, it can go through. How much damage?
So it's 2d6 plus 1.
Okay.
So 2d6 plus 2.
Yes, I think it's dead anyway. No, that is 6, 7, 8 wounds.
Yeah.
It's got 4 left.
That's why I wanted to put the tendrils in as well.
Okay.
Exactly this situation.
Tendril time.
So hitting on 3s again.
Yes. And then this is going to be 5s to wound.
It is.
1 wound.
AP1. AP1.
AP1?
Yeah.
A 4 I'll be okay.
Yeah.
I'm not okay. I've still got 2 wounds remaining. The Dark Pact would have done it, or the Chaos Space Marines if they'd have made their charge. But at least the Valiant is reduced now, so it's going to be hitting on 4s when it shoots. Now we come to Vashtor, trying to one-shot a Redemptor Dreadnought.
Yes.
Is he Dark Pacting?
Yes.
Of course he is.
Even though he doesn't really benefit in the same way, but he's got
Right, okay. He's fine. He's fine.
And he'll go. Do you know what? He might go for sustained because he gets the anti-vehicle 4-up.
Yeah. So if you get more through, it's good. So 6 attacks with his hammer?
6 attacks with hammer.
Okay. And he hits on Vashtor. Surely it's a 2.
2s.
Yes.
It is a 2.
No 6s, and you rolled 3 1s.
That is sustained.
Yes. Strength of the hammer
is 14.
But anti-vehicle 4-up.
Anti-vehicle 4-up dead wounds.
So that's 4s. 4s and no saves. And there's 2 4s. So the Redemptor Dreadnought only lost 4 wounds. Vashtor's supposed to be the anti-vehicle, anti-thingy-bob.
Yes. He's not quite as killy as all that.
No. Right, okay. Well, let's fight back with the tank and the lieutenant. Then the lieutenant hitting the Mauler Fiend on 2s. Lethals, he's not leading anyone right now. He's forgotten that. And he's strength 5 with a Mastercraft power weapon, so I need 6s. There's 1 at -2. -2 damage.
So 5-up is fine.
You're good. And then Redemptor Dreadnought will punch Vashtor back. 5 attacks. I'm hitting you on 3s. I hit you every single time. I'm strength 12. I think it's 3s to wound.
It is.
I wound you 4 times. Does he have invuln? Of course he has an invuln.
He's got a 4-up invuln.
Okay, so
no,
4.
5-up invuln.
Has he? It's -2 though, so it's a 4-up save anyway. Yeah, so 4 2-up saves on Vashtor. 4-up saves on Vashtor. And he's fine. He's fine. I'm glad he did that because that would have been embarrassing. Charging in to Redemptor Dreadnought, bouncing and then getting smushed in the face. And that is the end of Chaos Space Marines turn 2. They've extended their battle lines and started defending their stronghold. I don't think there's anything I can do about defending their stronghold because the Havocs are in range of it as well, even if the Warsuit goes tickly in. So you're going to pick up points for defending your stronghold, you should. You've extended battle lines. I have sabotaged this objective, however, and it didn't blow up the Warsuit and stop me scoring an extra 5 points over here. But you are certainly taking the field. And I've lost a Warsuit. I've got a Gladiator in combat. I've got Redemptor Dreadnoughts who are injured, and there's lots of stuff hidden behind those walls there. As we go on to Space Marines turn 2. So 16 to 24 in favour of the Forces of Chaos. There's only 8 points in it, and I need to secure no man's land, and containment again has popped up. So on this flank, we're containing with the Warsuit, who is on that objective there, and then I advance the Hell Blasters through to double team this objective to make sure I've got secure no man's land. And I'm containing with the Warsuit, not the Hell Blasters, because the Hell Blasters have got better time probably plinking off a couple of wounds off those obliterators there, particularly as one's on 2 wounds remaining. And overcooked plasma does do 2 damage. So we're containing on this flank, If you contain on 2 flanks, you get extra points, but there's no way I could squeeze anything anywhere over here to contain on the other flank. But what I could do is declare the tactical doctrine. I need to fall back with my lieutenant. He's falling back. Declare the tactical doctrine so I can fall back, shoot and charge. And declare Vashtor, the Archfane, as my oath of moment target. Shoot everything into him, charge everything into him, and all my vehicles get hazardous weapons when I shoot him. So that could be painful. But also for securing no man's land, there was a unit of tactical marines here, and they've ran through, and I'm securing no man's land in the middle as well. The ones on top of the building are on the ground floor. We're all on the ground floor there. The idea is to shoot Venom Crawler, kill Venom Crawler, but anyway, I've stopped you taking the central objective. So we're on a chunk of objectives. We're pushing up the middle. We're going to hurt Vashtor. I don't know what I'm going to do about the Mauler Fiend. Maybe the shots that come through will be enough to kill Vashtor, and then put some more shots into the Mauler Fiend, and then I've got some potential charges as well. And this Gladiator couldn't really get out of there, so it's just speeded around this way. So if it does detonate, the explosion will hurt as many Chaos Marines as possible. Meanwhile, the backfield for the Forces of Chaos is staying very, very quiet. I've still got a couple of units in reserve, the Assault Intercessors and the Hellblasters, but no need to bring them on just yet. So we're going to open up the shooting phase by overcooking some Hellblasters and firing up at these Obliterators here. Shooting Hellblasters on 3s. And then we are Toughness 8, Strength 8, 3s to wound.
7.
That's a lot of wounds. It's -3, but you've got ruin saves. So a chunk of 4 is coming up.
That's a problem.
Yeah, that kills 1, puts 1 down to 1 wound remaining.
Yeah.
Right, now let's try and hurt Vashtor. Now if I target Vashtor and I'm within 18 inches of him, all my guns become hazardous. Everything's within 18 inches of him. Is that fast strike servo turret within 18 inches of him? Yes, it is. We'll start there. Mind you, 1 minute. I could fire at that Obliterator. It's got a 2-up save up there. We'll get back to that one. We will start with the tank that's almost certainly going to die. Fire all of its weapons into Vashtor. So let's do the Las Talon. It's injured, but back to 3s with the Las Talon. They both hit. Strength 10 with +1 to wound is 3s to wound because of Oath of Moment. He needs a 4. That's a 4. And then we'll do the multi-melters. These are actually hitting you on 4s with Oath of Moment. Strength 9 versus Toughness 10 with +1 to wound is 4s to wound him. I don't wound him. And that's it. And now all the hazardous checks. Don't roll any 1s. I don't roll any 1s. Okay, Gladiator Valiant number 2. Let's try this again. 3s to hit with the Las Talon. Oath of Moment, so that actually hits you because it's +1 to hit vehicles and monsters. So they both hit, and then 3s to wound you with the Las Talons, which are twin linked. So 2 4-up saves. Oh no, no cover from this angle, so it's 2 5-up saves, yeah. And he fails them both. You've got 1 CP. This is 2d6 + 2 damage on this. And that's 7 damage. Command point on that, definitely. He's got 14 wounds to start with. So 7, 8, 9 wounds in total. He's got 5 left. Then the multi-melters. With Oath of Moment. I'm going to wound him on 4s. 1 more wound. AP -4.
5 up in done.
Yes. And you make it. How's this check? I'm nervous. I'm good. What about Lieutenant? Lieutenant might as well fire in as well. He hits both of the times with his master-crafted bolt thing. We'll actually win on 5s. I wound. That's a -1. So 3 up, yeah. Ooh. And he killed a Marine. Well done. Hazardous. He's okay. Redemptor Dreadnought. The 1 on 8 wounds. I mean, his weapon is hazardous anyway, so hazardous on hazardous. It's not an orc thing. So let's overcook the big Plasma of Doom, and we'll have 3 shots, and we're going to hit on 3s, and this will wound on 4s now with a +1. They all wound. They're all 5-up and vulnerable saves. And 1 more. And Vashtor the Archfane falls. Hazardous on that. I'm still good. And he doesn't Deadly Demise, and he's gone, which leaves this Redemptor Dreadnought free to fire in at Mauler Fiend. Let's overcook one more time, and this time I have 5 shots. And we're hitting on 3s, but we're going to need 5s to wound. It's strength 9. There's a wound. Here's an invulnerable save of 5+. And drop logs don't count,
nope.
And that's flat 3 damage. Then I fired all the other guns in, did no further damage to the Mauler Fiend, so it's on 8 wounds left, and then I failed my hazardous check. So I'm on 3 wounds remaining. Yeah, I still want to charge it though.
At least Vashtor wasn't still alive, and all those other guns would have been hazardous too.
Yeah, that's it.
Only for
Pick Vashtor first, yeah, get rid of him. So last things left to fire. Well, can this fast right servo turret peer through that thing? And yes, it can. It can, and we've got 2. We've got 2 turrets. I could fire at something else.
Well, you can have. I know. We can have one of the servo turrets looking up at him.
Oh yeah, one of them was thinking about plinking the last wound off of that thing. We might as well. We might as well go for the glory shot. We hit on 2s.
Yep.
It's strength 9. It's twin linked, and then you need 2 up saves against that because you're in a ruin. But if you fail this, I kill the I'd kill the obliterator unless you CP reroll that.
I think
you got 1 CP.
I think it's worth it.
You think it's worth it? I don't think it's worth it. Kill the obliterator. Who likes obliterators?
Me.
I don't like obliterators. It's still alive. Okay, so it's fire turret number 2 into the Mauler Fiend. It's on 8 wounds. I want to plink it down a little bit before the Redemptor goes charging in there. So 2s to hit it. That's only 2 hits. 5s to wound it, but twin linked, and it's -1. So 1 not 4 up save. And no, it just bounces off the hull, and that demon engine laughs at my fast strike turbo turret. Right, last thing left to fire. I've got a full unit of 10 intercessors. That's 40 shots.
You can split that fire.
If I split the fire, see, and put some into him and some into... Yeah, it's only 20.
Go on.
So I'm thinking, can 40 shots from intercessors take down a venom crawler?
I think they probably could.
Well, let's do it. Let's find out. 3s to hit with 40 shots. 6s are lethal. And then a bunch more 6s, please. There's some more 6s. Many 4-up saves. Yeah. 1 damage a time. Just 2 wounds. Well, we tried. So the venom crawler's on 5 wounds left, and I've just fed you 10 intercessors. So that's going to be very interesting. It's the tactical doctrine though, and if you move, then I'll probably move away, but then you don't need to move.
No.
And the obliterator's on a wound, that's on 5 wounds. I've got the Redemptor Dreadnoughts, we're going to be charging. I've got a CP for tank shock as well, so let's put them both in. Let's start off with the lieutenant because he needs to charge around here and get out of the way. So 7, yes, he can charge around there and get out of the way. Okay, Redemptor Dreadnought number 2. That's 3 inches. I think that's a failed charge. That is a failed charge. I don't want to CP reroll that because I got 1 CP and I want a tank shock. And it's 7 inches on the other dreadnought. But is 2 of them better than a tank? 2 of them is better, isn't it?
Definitely.
2 of them's better. So yes, let's CP reroll that one. That's a 4. That gets me in just. Then a 7 inches on the other Redemptor Dreadnought. I'm making this look easy. And that's a 10.
There you go.
Alright, let's start with the lieutenant with his sword. He's going to need 6s. He does a wound, look. He does a wound.
AP.
-1, but it's 2 damage. No, you're good. Okay, Redemptor Dreadnought that isn't injured hits on 3s. He hits 4 times, and he's strength 12, so he wounds on 3s. And then -2. 3 damage a time.
So 5 ups.
Yes.
Demon or... Hello.
He takes 3 wounds. He's got 5 left. Okay, so the one who's injured is hitting on 4s, and I need 2 of these to get through. And he hits twice. So I need both of them to wound and both of you to fail both of the things. They both wound. If you could fail both of the saves,
No command points.
that would be lovely. 2 5s coming up.
Come on, give me a 5. It's a 50.
It's
50-50. Yes!
5. He's on 2 wounds remaining. The Warlefeed's still alive and he can fight back. And there's a Redemptor Dreadnought here on 3 wounds.
Now would be a really stupid time to Dark Pact.
It would be, because if you fail...
Yes, I'm dead.
Are you going to Dark Pact?
I'm going to Dark Pact.
All right, roll 2 dice. Don't roll less than a 6.
No, come on. This is a terrible, terrible idea. No!
Well, here's the thing. It's a D3 wounds. He's got 2 left.
Win.
Out of 1 or 2, he's still alive. No!
Boom. Does he go boom? No.
No. Okay.
Damn it.
That was...
It was a bad idea. I knew it was a bad idea.
That was squeaky bum time, that was. That was squeaky bum time.
Khorne Morlafine was always going to Dark Pact.
You had to, right?
Yeah,
I think that's the law. You get put in prison if you don't Dark Pact when you're doing Khorne.
Stylus would never talk to me again.
No. Well, that's a bonus if Stylus never talks to you again. That's the end of my turn. I made it look difficult, but we got there in the end. Killing Vashtor and a Morphine.
Eventually.
Big. But you still got the Venom Crawler, you still got the Obliterator, you've still got some Cultists and your Warlord who can come in and some Raptors. Having said all that though, these guys are still somewhat out of position over here for now. The 13th are containing, the 13th are securing no man's land, and you're going to pick up 3 points for the linchpin stuff. So this game is really, really close as we go to Forces of Chaos turn 3. So the Forces of Chaos are done with securing the field, and now they just want to kill stuff for no prisoners and kill stuff in range of objectives for overwhelming force. So the Forces of Chaos, traitors, heretics, oath breakers all want to kill as much as possible. Here's the Khorne unit of Space Marines climbing around, going past the Gladiator, looking at my lieutenant and those 2 Redemptor Dreadnoughts down there, because that Gladiator's only on a couple of wounds. And here's a Dreadnought here. So if it kills it, that's killing a thing in range of objectives, and no prisoners as well. So also made sure it stayed within 6 inches of this Venom Crawler here to buff the Venom Crawler, because we have Venom Crawler number 1 and Venom Crawler number 2 putting a lot of shots into the Space Marines, clambering all over that ruin there. And Gorman Ghastly is deep struck in as well. He's got a special ability. He points at a unit with his Death Hex. He can increase the AP of all the incoming shots by 1, which will help because they're clambering all over that ruin, and they're in range of an objective. So trying to kill infantry on this side, trying to kill tanks and maybe Redemptors on this side. Here's the Obliterator standing at the top. I didn't spend my 1 CP on tactically repositioning anything or overwatching for now. I'm going to keep it in my pocket. Some Cultists have come in on this edge. You haven't got behind enemy lines or engage on all fronts, but there's some Cultists back there, so either I deal with them or potentially wait and see if those secondaries come up. I'm talking about deep striking in. Here's the Raptors. They got plasma shots into the fast strike servo turret. I sense the Forces of Chaos are trying to draw me, trying to distract me this way, when the main fight is on the other side of the battle grid. It's a very close game.
Well, go over there. Go over there.
I don't want to go over there.
It's really interesting. There's some cool stuff in that corner.
No, I've got a couple of units in reserve, and I'm looking for engage on all fronts as well. I'm sure it's going to come up next turn, maybe. Right, we need to shoot some guns now. This should be painful. So at start the shooting phase, Gorman Ghastly doesn't want to roll a 1.
He does not
for
want to
his
roll a 1.
Death Hex to go off, and that's not a 1. So he points at this unit, and they've got -1 AP.
Yep.
So the Hex did up. We're going to start with this Venom Crawler here, blasting away before I take away the ones and make you out of range, and you're Dark Pacting.
Yes.
And that passes just. So we are armor contempting this, putting me back to a 3-up save, and you're hitting on 3s.
Hitting on 3s, 5s and 6s are lethal and sustained.
Yes. Not a lot of 5s and 6s for once. Just 2? 3s to wound. Lots of wounds though.
Yeah.
Lots of 3-up saves coming up. I'm not going to fail any of these except for the 3 I fail. Gorman Ghastly firing in now.
So we've got
your Warlord.
Dark Pact.
Is he?
He's going to Dark Pact.
Okay.
Got to set the example.
He does. He sets the example.
Against
all right.
sustained.
He's got 4 shots. There's a sustained. So that's 5 hits because he's a Lord, right? Surely he hits on 2s. He only hits on 3s. Okay, you get 3 wounds. What is shooting me? Is it a bolter or something?
So AP dash.
I take a wound.
You do.
Right, we'll come back to them in a minute because you want to see what happens over here first. And you're paying for grenades.
Yes.
So who's grenading what now?
The Legionaries are shoving grenades into the hatches of the Gladiator as they run past.
Okay, how many did they manage to clamp
6 dice on
in?
4s. They do it.
That's a dead Gladiator. And I want it to blow up. It's really close to your shizzle.
I want it to as well. Oh.
It doesn't blow up. It just crumples and sinks to the ground on its grav plates. Then all the remaining shots coming into my lieutenant. Right, and here's all the shots that came through with bolters and flamers. So these are 2-up saves, because he has Armour of Contempt. It also gives him a 5-up Feel No Pain. He takes a couple of wounds. Armour of Contempt, Artificer Armour. He's got 2 left. Here's an overcooking plasma pistol. Can you polish him off? It hits. And it wounds. It's strength 8.
Yes.
And I fail the save, and it's 2 damage. I need to make one of these Feel No Pains. He doesn't make either of the Feel No Pains and hazardous check. And you're good. So Gladiator's gone, Lieutenant's gone, then the Rhino fired in at the Redemptor and all the shots bounced, and now we're on to the Hellbrute firing in at this Redemptor on 3 wounds remaining. Are we Dark Pacting?
Yes, we are.
We're Dark Pacting. And that passes. That's okay. Right, 1 shot with a las cannon. And that's a hit. Wounds on a 3. It wounds. AP -3. I'm going to need a 5. I'll make a 5. Done. So now we're coming all the way back to the other side of the flank, where this unit of outflanking cultists want to shoot a warsuit in the back, and they're Dark Pacting, and that fails.
So they take D3 wounds.
And 2 of them die screaming.
Yep.
Okay, because cultists with lethal hits and sustained hits, they can do some work.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So hitting on 4s.
Yes, here's a chunk of auto guns. See, those 6s for lethal would have been really handy.
Yes.
And then 6s to wound now.
No, this is against the...
the Hellblasters, are they? Okay, so 4s to wound.
No, 5s. Because
Are they?
strength 3.
Are they?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Auto guns, effectively.
There you go. 4 wounds. 4 3-up saves on Space Marines. The cultists kill a Hellblaster.
That's like a win.
Tickle another. Then 2 wounds came through with a Flamer, and you don't tickle anymore.
Yep.
So the cultists on the home field objective are trying to do the same thing. Into the Hellblasters, right?
Yep.
Not the Warsuit. Brilliant.
Yep.
Praying to the gods. Gods, hear my prayer.
It worked. They can see Gorman Ghastly from there. So
right, okay. So 8 shots with the auto guns, going with sustained. So 5s count as extra hits.
Yeah,
that's
so
good.
Just 4.
5 to wound. 3 more 3-up saves. 1 was injured. That
dead.
1 falls. And then there's a grenade launcher.
There's a heavy stubber.
There's a heavy
4
stubber.
shots. They move slightly, so you'll be hits on 5s.
Okay.
2 hits.
And they're sustained. 4 to wound on the stubber. 2 more wounds. That's another dead Hellblaster. Crack with a grenade launcher. Thug-dunk. Misses. But you kill 3 out of 5 of those Hellblasters. Yeah. So while we're in the backfield, Raptors are overcooking plasma, shooting at a fast strike servo turret. 3 of them can see. 1's got a pistol. 2 have got guns, rapid firing guns. So 5 shots in total.
Yeah.
Are we praying?
We're going to pray.
We are going to pray. And that didn't work. The Dark Gods are not liking you right now, and that's 1 and a bit dead. Right, so you're hitting on 3s. You hit 4 times.
Okay.
And you're wounding on 3s. And it's AP -3. So these are actually 5-up saves. If I fail all of these, you kill it.
Yep.
You don't kill it. It's got 2 wounds remaining. So far, you've only killed 1 unit for overwhelming force and no prisoners.
Yep.
And you've got the Havocs left and the Obliterator left and the Venom Crawler. And you're looking at the Obliterator.
I'm looking at the Obliterator.
And there's 2 Hellblasters down there.
Yeah.
And you're Dark Pacting.
I am, because
That's
it's
crazy.
What's the worst that could happen?
He dies horribly. That's the worst that could happen.
Yeah. Okay, here we go.
Okay.
6+. Come on.
He dies. Oh, that's pretty cocked. I'll give you a reroll on that one. Give you a reroll on that.
But it's...
He dies.
Oh, no.
He dies. The Obliterator. That's the worst that could have happened. So if you want to kill those Hellblasters, it's basically these Havocs here.
Yes. So let's split fire.
Right.
Put autocannons on them.
Into the Hellblasters, right.
Put a plasma gun from the champ, which I've measured, is into those guys.
Okay.
And las cannons into the 8 wounds Redemptor.
The 8 wound Redemptor.
Yeah.
Not the 3 wound, because you want to charge the other one.
And the other one's closer. Yeah.
Okay, and you don't need to overcook that because there's a Marine on a wound.
Right.
Okay, are we Dark Pacting?
Yes.
Can I advise you against it?
Yes.
It's not working.
I'm going to do it anyway.
Okay, we're Dark Pacting.
Oh,
it didn't work. Nurgle doesn't hear your prayer.
No.
And instead, Nurgle just tickles one.
Okay,
just
tickles
one.
At least the champion
It's
still
Nurgle.
hits.
You didn't feel that much pain.
No.
Right, plasma into the
Plasma
Marines.
into the Marines.
Yes. Not overcooking. That hits.
Would have been multiple.
I know. It's a 3 to wound. It wounds. -2 becomes -1.
No, it becomes -2 because of the... I guess.
Oh, yeah.
It doesn't matter.
That saves anyway. Yep. Don't kill that injured Marine. Right. Okay. The autocannon's coming into Hellblasters.
Yep.
Right. 3s. And you hit twice.
Still enough. Strength 9.
2s to wound. You wound both of the times. 3 up saves or they're dead. That's 6s again. They're good. Okay. 2 last cannons then.
Yep.
Yeah. One of them hits the Redemptor.
Means it can't kill, never mind.
And wounds the Redemptor. It needs a 5. That's not a 5.
D6 plus 1.
That's 4 damage.
5.
It reduces damage by 1. So, yeah.
Okay.
So, lots of shooting. Not a lot happened. We've got a Venom Crawler left, and he's kneeling those Marines there. And you're Dark Pacting again.
Dark Pacting.
And this time,
it works.
It passes. Okay.
Right.
But it's 6s now for sustained and lethal because it's a red one.
And I will do, I will do sustained.
Sustained, okay. No 6s whatsoever.
3s to wound.
3s to wound. That is 3 wounds. AP -1 becomes AP -2. Back to AP -1, so 4 up saves, and you kill 2. Which means there's still 5 left with the Lieutenant, and you've only killed 2 units? 1 unit.
1 unit.
You killed the Gladiator Valiant.
And with grenades as well.
With grenades, and that's it. So you want to kill some more stuff for the no prisoners.
Yep.
So we've got some charges. Where are we starting? Venom Crawler into these?
Venom Crawler in there. He's pretty much also in.
Okay. Yeah, he's in. And then 5 inches here. It's a 6-inch charge, but you're going to be strung out quite a bit. Mind you, with a 3-inch pile-in. And I don't have the CP to interrupt. So let's fight.
I'm going to try some of the charges.
You know what? What are the charges?
Well, the obvious one is the Raptors are going into the Fire Strike.
Okay.
But I've also got something even cheekier.
Okay, so it's a 9-inch charge over here. And that's a 5. Right.
And
okay.
I'm worrying about putting the cultists onto these guys.
You're going to try and charge some Space Marines.
I mean, it's a silly idea.
Well, you'll probably stop me scoring that objective. Yeah. 9-inch charge. And that's a 12. The cultists want it. Well, I have 0 CP, so I can't interrupt. I can't overwatch. So let's start here with the cultists. Let's see what they managed to do. Can I advise you not to Dark Pact at this point?
I think I'm going to anyway.
Right,
These guys are feeling adventurous.
Nurgle, hear my prayer.
Oh,
Nurgle did not hear your prayer. And you
3 more die!
3 more. They lost 6 of their number to prayer.
Oh, God.
Hit on 4s, winning on 5s. 1 wound came through. And we're good.
Knock.
All right. I'll do the fight backs while we're here. We'll punch you back. We hit you on 3s. Only hit 3 times. And wound on. I wound you all the times, though. Cultist saves. You lose just 2. I don't think you take that objective.
No.
But it was a noble effort.
Yes.
As they're chanting and shouting to the dark gods.
It would have been very funny if it had worked.
It would have been hilarious. So back to this flank, Legionaries.
Yes. These guys are Dark Pacting, and they at least have an icon so they can re-roll a failed Dark Pact.
This will definitely work. It definitely works already. You're good.
And they've got a 5+ because of the Dark Apostle anyway.
Okay. So who we find first? The
Gox Hack Fiend, the Dark Apostle.
Right.
6 attacks on 2s. 5s and 6s will be lethal.
Nice. 5s to wound. You wound 3 times.
Yep.
AP
1.
AP 1. I need 3s. I make all my 3s. 2 heavy melee weapons.
Which 3 attacks each.
Yes.
So hitting on 3s.
Yes.
5 and 6 will be lethal.
Okay. There's no 5s and 6s. You only get 3 hits.
These are strength 8, so also 5s.
Yes.
Oh, God.
And no wounds. Couple more hits. There's a hit. Just needs that. No, nothing.
And then the.
Is there anyone else? Is there anyone else? There's that apostle's
there is the Dark
sidekick.
Apostle. Yes.
Jeff.
Yes.
Jeffus Minimus hits.
It
and he
wounds.
wounds. He does a wound, and I make the save.
Oh dear.
So the Khorne unit of Legionaries I was terrified of did no wounds to Redemptor Dreadnought. Interesting.
Armour.
While we're here, we'll fight back. It was that short charge.
Yes.
If you got a lot more in.
Lot in.
Yeah. I hit you 4 times and a wound 3 times. That's 5 up saves. And I take down just 1. Okay, a bit of a slap fight there as we shake one of our trouser leg. Now we come across here to the Venom Crawler. What are you doing now? What are you doing?
Dark pacting.
Don't dark pact. It's okay. It's okay. He's okay. He's okay. He's corn as well, so he gets lethals, right?
Yeah, but sustained is probably more useful.
He probably is, actually.
Yeah, so
go for the sustained. Yeah.
So sustained on 6s, therefore.
Okay. Look at all those 6s.
Much better.
See, that's 4 more in there. Look at that. You get 10 hits out of 6. Strength of these things.
Strength 6.
Okay, so 3's to wound. See, it's turning round.
Oh, hello.
That's 9 wounds. 9? So only AP1, but failed saves will kill dudes.
Is your lieutenant not different armour?
You're not going to get that far.
Okay.
Maybe. No, he isn't. It's all 4 up saves. He hasn't got anything. You kill 3. There's 3 intercessors left. The noble 13th, who pile back in with my lieutenant. Gets them back onto the objective. And we hit you on 3s. 6s are lethal, and there's 4 6s. I can do that too. Then 6s to wound. And 3 up saves. And I take a wound. Then the lieutenant, with his mastercrafted power weapon, hits on 2s. 6s are lethal. It is strength 5.
It's 9.
So 5s to wound. 2 wounds, and if you fail both of the saves, I kill him. It's -2 damage.
Oh no. Oh no.
Dead. Kaboom boom?
Does he? Kaboom
Don't boom boom.
Yay!
He does boom boom. 3 wounds.
Yay!
Kills a space marine on the way down. Kills a marine. We're all over that objective, and that is the end of Chaos Space Marine's turn 3. Yep. We're running out of assets. I killed a Venom Crawler in your turn. I mean, I liked the noble idea of trying to wipe out the Firestrike servo turret, which didn't happen, and trying to wipe out the Redemptor Dreadnought, which didn't happen.
Split my fire too much.
And charging the cultists over here, which didn't happen. In the end, for overwhelming force and no prisoners, you killed a unit. You killed the Valiant,
that was not very good.
which was in range of an objective, and that's it.
The cultists were the second most effective unit.
They did have a good go, didn't they? They had a good go.
Got a bit carried away, perhaps.
If they hadn't been praying, though.
Yeah.
But I do still have that objective. And the central one. And my home field objective in the backfield.
That's a problem.
As we go on the Space Marines turn 3. Then a calamity happened. I failed battle shock tests on the units that I wanted. Basically, the 2 in No Man's Land that I thought I was going to take, I'm only taking 1 in No Man's Land. Which means at the start of turn 3 for Space Marines, it's 32 points to 40. I'm 8 points behind. I need to extend my battle lines and get behind enemy lines. And I've got 2 units in strategic reserve behind enemy. That's come up at the perfect time for me. So it's 32 to 40, and I've got problems in my backfield, and I don't want to charge the assault intercessors off my home field objective, because that will just leave the Firestrike servo turret within 5 inches vertically of the objective. You shoot the turret with las cannons, I don't score my linchpin. Double teaming my linchpin, very important. So in the backfield, I move the other turret round a little bit, and the Gladiator anti-tank big gun of doom is putting all the shots into the Raptors. I mean, they've got plasmas and they move a long way. They need to die. So that will clear my backfield. As for extend my battle lines, hold that one and holding this one. I'm holding this one with the Warsuit. He's got an OCF 4, you've got an OCF 3. The Hellblaster's failed. So I can't go charging off with the Warsuit because I could have shouted the Assault Doctrine and gone charging round and troubled your cultists, but then I wouldn't be extending the battle lines. So he has to stay there. So he's staying there, getting some points.
Makes sense, the Hellblasters. They failed the battle shock because they lost 2 of their number to cultists.
Yeah, they were scared of the cultists.
So the cultists also ran in and stabbed themselves in the throat.
Yeah, they're like, why are those cultists stabbing themselves in the throat? What's going on here? And talking about battle shock, these guys failed as well. So they're just kind of staying there because their weapons are heavy. So if I stay still, I get extra shots and it's lethal, and there's your Warlord right there. And then as for behind enemy lines, here's the assault team, 9-inch charge into your cultists. Here's the Hellblasters, 9-inch charge into them because engagement range is just below. And potentially I could get you off your linchpin objective, potentially, if I make a 9-inch charge. But I spent my CP that I got this turn on adaptive strategy. So I won't have any CP to re-roll charges. And I spent it on adaptive strategy, so the dreadnought that you charged can fall back, shoot and charge. Because this is the biggest threat. This double unit of Khorne legionaries down here. They've got to go. So if I get rid of them and score loads of points, it leaves this stuff round here somewhat out of position, and the only objective that you'll be on is your linchpin one if I fail the charges. And then it's going to be a very, very close game as we go to turns 4 and 5. So we're going to start here with the Hellblasters shooting some Havocs in the back. So overcook some plasma and let's shoot them on 3s. Havoc's toughness 5, so it is actually 3s to wound them. And then you have 5 up saves. And I take down 3 of them. And you pull from the background there, making the charge like 11 inches now, so I'm probably going to fail that. And I don't want to shoot with a couple of pistols here into cultists, because you'll pull from here.
Put the pistols up there.
And I could put the pistols up there. Let's put some pistols up there. Put some pistols into those guys. Need 5 to wound those guys. I don't wound those guys, so we did those pistols. It's also like their war suit as well. I could shoot and start. See, if I hose down a couple of cultists and fail the charge, I don't gain anything.
Yeah.
But if I make the charge, I gain quite a lot. So we're not hosing down any cultists. But the Invicta suit could put a couple of shots up at these guys. So he's going to fire his heavy bolter in and hit once, and it wounds, and you need a 3-up save. And I kill another Havoc. Then he fired his other guns in, and no further wounds caused. So there's that done. Right, we'll come across here, put loads and loads of shots into Gorman Ghastly. I say loads of shots because those 2 Marines have 8 shots. And we're hitting on 3s. No, we stood still. We're hitting on 2s.
And 6s.
6s are lethal. So there's a lethal. And these wound him on 4s?
There were 2 6s.
Was there?
Yep.
All right. Thanks for. Yeah, okay. He's got loads of cover though. He's behind a crate and he's in Terminator armor. So surely he won't roll a bunch of 1s.
No, impossible.
He rolls 1. We'll come on to the Redemptor Dreadnought in a minute, firing at the Oath of Moment target. Instead, we're going to put loads of shots into the Raptors in the backfield. So I fired all that anti-tank fire in, and there's still a guy left on 2 wounds. He's cowering behind that crate there, against the might of the 13th. Right, last thing left to fire then. Redemptor Dreadnoughts, both are degraded, both firing down into this squad here, but we have to do it separately because Plasma has Blast. So don't need to overcook, because overcook goes from damage 2 to damage 3, and Hazardous will kill me.
Who would do a thing like that?
Who would do a thing like that? So the 1 on 3 wounds, not overcooking, has 5 shots? 6 shots. I'm hitting on 4s. Re-rolling for Oath.
Ooh, hello.
And we're wounding on 2s. And it's -3. And each failed save will kill 1.
6 6s. No.
That's 4 dead. Then the rocket has 2 shots, which hits on 4s. Oath. And wounds on a 2. Doesn't wound. Gatling gun on 4s. That's pretty good. With thing. And it would normally wound on 3s, but it's winning on 2s because of Oath of Moment. And 6s are devastating. So that kills another. Plus that many 3-up saves.
Kills another.
Kill 2 more. 3 left. Stormbolters went blur. And now we're on to Redemptor Dreadnought number 2. Has 4 shots this time because of the blast thing. There's 5 models there.
There are. Next one.
5 shots. 4s to hit because it's injured. And then 2s to wound. It's only 2 wounds. 2 5-up saves.
No.
And kill 2 more. And the rocket has 3 shots, which hit on 4s. Re-rolling for Oath. Wounding on 2s. 2 more 4-up saves, please.
Ooh.
That's another 2 dead.
That kills.
It's the unit of legionaries right out, and then these are going into Gok Hack Fiend, the Dark Apostle. They're all the Burr guns. This is going to be 2s to wound that unit. 6s are devastating. That kills his minion. These are on Gorok himself. He takes 3 wounds. He's on 1 wound remaining, and we're going to make him dance with a twin storm bolter. Oath of Moment would be 4s, but 3s, and it's twin linked. If he fails a 3-up save, he falls.
Oh no!
He's gone. The Redemptor Dreadnoughts managed to clear this push, and you had what? Mauler Fiend, Hell Brutes, Venom Crawlers, a Vashtor.
So much self-inflicted damage in Dark Pacts.
Yeah.
The Light Pacts.
Yeah, thanks for praying to the wrong type of god. Yep. Can I introduce you into our Lord and Saviour, the Emperor of Mankind?
No.
I think that's it for shooting. We've got some charges. The Warsuit is going to turn around and charge some cultists. Don't roll Snake Eyes. That's not Snake Eyes. Okay. So we'll tread on them.
Yep.
We want to extend battle lines. And then over here, it's the Glory Shot with no CP, a 9-inch charge into your linchpin objective. You ready?
I am.
And that's the 8. That is a failed charge. Hellblasters need an 11 to the Havoc. That's a 10. Okay, failed charges. We tried, but we are behind. We're doing Warsuit into your dudes. It hits 3 times and
kills on.
But there's still 1 left. Then the cultist isn't there anymore. The last cultist turned round and tried to smack a Space Marine who clubbed him into the ground with the butt of his gun. And that's the end of Space Marines. Turn 3. The Chaos Space Marines only pick up 3 points on the primary objectives for holding their linchpin. But they're still in the lead by 2 points, 43 points to 41. There's still a chance. And they want to sabotage an objective and bring down one of those Redemptor Dreadnoughts or the Warsuit. So in the backfield, lock down the linchpin objective is in effect the Chaos Cultists moving forward to get in rapid fire range, and the Venom Crawler coming around this way as well. The Venom Crawler could shoot 1 unit, charge another unit, stop me getting on to that objective there. Otherwise there'll be a big point swing. As for bring it down, there's 1 last cannon looking at a Redemptor Dreadnought on 4 wounds. And 1 twin link last cannon looking at a Redemptor Dreadnought on 3 wounds. Surely both of them can hit, both of them can wound, and no Dark Pacts will fail.
No.
They're both Nurgle. So that'll be very good. And then the Rhino is moving around to sabotage that objective. Let's face it, you need to kill the Redemptor Dreadnoughts in order to sabotage that objective, because you need to be there at the end of my turn. So they both must die. If you manage to pull this off, that'll be maximum points for bring it down, and you're probably okay on the sabotage. Probably. And then Gorman Ghastly, on his own, is going to go into the Lieutenant and the 2 remaining Intercessors. That'll be fine. And then there's 1 heroic Raptor champion down here that wants to shoot and charge anything he can. Overcharge the plasma. Shoot at the fast strike?
Yes.
Okay.
So, hits on a 3.
Yes. It hits. It's going to win on a 3.
Not Dark Pacting, so yeah, wins on a 3.
It wins. I need a 5 or he's dead.
He's not dead.
He's alive.
Am I?
Don't roll a 1 on the hazardous. You don't. He's playing with fire there, but he's still alive. At least he can go flying in there and punch it.
Yeah.
Okay, what else are we doing? Gorman Ghastly, does he want to drop the AP of those guys and not roll a 1?
Yes.
He's got his enhancement. Don't roll a 1.
It's
I saw a 1 for a moment
flickering. So
Daka.
Oh, I will Dark Pact.
You would? You can roll for the Dark Pact. It's fine. I like it when you Dark Pact. Horrible things happen to your army. It passes. It passes.
That means that, and it was going to be sustained, so
yes.
that goes back in.
3 of them hit.
No, because it's only hitting on 3s.
Okay. Force to wound?
Force to wound.
Yes.
All of them
wound.
AP 1 effectively kills 1.
You kill 1. That's good. You kill
like
1.
That.
Okay. All right. So now we're on to Venom Crawler trying to shoot these guys. Do I Armor of Contempt this, or do I leave my 1 CP in my hand for a CP reroll over here to keep them alive? I'd rather keep a Redemptor Dreadnought alive, because then I can stop you sabotaging that thing.
Yeah.
And getting an extra bunch of points as well, because you're on many objectives. So yeah, if your Venom Crawler kills all of these, you're fine. Are we Dark Pacting? This Venom Crawler's uninjured. Of course he's Dark Pacting.
Of course he's Dark Pacting.
Yes. That's a 2 and a... that's a fail on the Dark Pact, and he takes a wound. Venom Crawler's on 8. wounds remaining, no lethal, no sustained. Let's roll here because of the thing. He hits on 3s, and you wouldn't have got any lethals and sustained anyway. There's no 6s. And you're wounding those assault intercessors on 3s. And you wound 4 of them? 4 up saves. He kills just 1. Cultists are going to have to do it.
And you know what they're doing?
They don't pray.
They do.
Their leadership's terrible.
I know.
See? You should never pray to your...
Only lose 1.
You only lose 1. Okay, only a little... One of them turns around and stabs Bob. You said the wrong words. Stab him. Now the Dark Gods didn't hear our prayer. At least you're in rapid fire range.
Yes, so I've got...
Forced to hit him. All their auto guns.
Wound.
It's the 5 to wound that's the tricky part, yeah. 3 wounds.
3, yeah.
3 wounds. 3 threat saves.
Oh,
hello. Hero cultists. You've got the heavy stubber, which is 5
I'll do a grenade launcher
Grenade.
first.
Straight shot.
We'll do a crack.
That's a miss. Okay.
Heavy stubber is 5s.
Yes. And
That's
then
2 hits,
4s to wound.
1 wound.
1 wound. And make the save. So the cultists kill 1 and the venom crawler kill 1.
Yes.
Linchpin objective under threat. Cultists could come charging off.
I was thinking that.
But then if they're off...
It's sticky.
I mean, last time the cultists charged...
It didn't end well.
It was fine. So you've got a lance cannon here and a lance cannon there.
Right.
Yes.
We're going to start with... Let's start with the Hellbrute.
The Hellbrute.
Dark Pact.
Okay, he's got 6 wounds. He'll be fine.
Yes.
He's
also
fine.
fine anyway.
He's fine.
So 1 shot into that.
Sustained
guy.
or lethal?
Sustained.
Okay. He does them both. He's a Hellbrute, actually.
That's true. Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
So hits.
And it
hits
hits.
at least.
Okay.
3s to wound.
Twin linked. It's twin linked.
It is twin linked.
It's a twin linked lance cannon.
Thank you.
That wins. I need a 5.
Yes. D6 plus 1.
You know what I said about my CP?
Oh, yes, you did.
This is where it comes into effect.
The winter's 6.
I keep him alive.
So the Havoc.
Lance cannon number 2.
Well, that'll go into the same one.
The 3 wound
The 3 one, just in case. Dark Pact.
Don't die. He's on his own. It's his terrible idea. He's fine. He's fine.
Yeah.
He's fine. He's Nurgle. He's fine.
Hitting on a 3.
Yes.
And look what happens.
Look at that. That's good.
Sustained.
Yes.
So
that's 2 hits.
So that one wounds, and this one is 3s to wound.
Okay.
So
2 wounds. 2 5-up saves into the Redemptor Dreadnought.
Yes.
He fails them both.
Yeah, he's definitely dead. 2.
Well, he reduces damage by 1, so if you roll Snake Eyes, he'll be alive.
That's true.
No, he's dead. And he doesn't blow up. So half the plan worked. Now we're on to the charge phase. Venom Crawler couldn't fail the charge into the Hellblasters, but the cultists. Are you charging with the cultists?
Yes.
Okay. Good luck with this. That's a 3. That's a failed charge. You do have a CP if you want a CP reroll a charge, but it seems to me that Zeech is saying no.
I'm going to spend my CP.
You're going to spend your CP?
Yeah.
6. You're in there.
Enough.
On the other side of the battle grid, this champion charges the Fire Strike servo turret, and in the middle, Gorman Ghastly goes charging in.
Yes.
And he engages the lieutenant and the last intercessor.
He is.
So where do you want to start?
We'll start with the cultists.
Okay. Please Dark Pact.
I'm going to Dark Pact
You're
because,
going to Dark Pact.
because it's gone wrong so many times that if it goes wrong, it's funny, and if it goes right, it might work.
Yeah.
So we're trying it.
Yeah. Okay.
It works.
7?
It works.
Is there leadership 7?
I'll check that.
It might be like 12 or something because they're cultists.
It's leadership 7+.
It's 7+. They're fine. 9 attacks.
4s
Just
to hit,
doing
lethals.
lethals. Yeah. 4s looking for the 6s. There's no 6s. Okay.
And there's not a lot of 4s.
No, is that only 3 hits?
Yeah.
Okay, 5s to wound. They're trying to take down transhumant. Nothing happened.
No.
Okay, shall we do Venom Crawler?
Let's do Venom Crawler.
Hellblasters?
Yeah.
He's got 6 attacks.
He's got 6 attacks. He's going to Dark Pact as well.
Is he?
Yes, again, you know.
Okay.
6 this time.
That failed.
There's a theme for this game.
I do love this mechanic.
It is fun.
It adds a lot of narrative.
Yeah,
I mean, when you pull it off, it's amazing. And when you don't, it's like, screw you, Nurgle.
I played a game against Kraken a few weeks ago and I didn't fail a single Dark Pact in the whole game.
Yeah.
And this is payback.
Yeah, you're making up for it now.
Thanks, Kraken.
Okay. 3s to hit me.
So yes, I got 6 of them.
Yes. And you hit, at least you hit all the times. Yeah,
3s to wound you.
Yeah. And you wound 3 times. AP?
AP 1.
AP 1. So I need 4s.
Yeah.
He killed 2. Gorman Ghastly in the middle. He's got this, surely.
Gorman Ghastly, Dark Pacting.
Yes, naturally. Of course, he has to. He fails. That's a 3. And he takes 2 wounds. Right.
Hitting on 3s as well.
Okay, with 4 attacks. He hits twice. Okay.
He is strength 6, so 3s to wound.
Okay. He wounds once.
Wound, an AP 1 as well.
He kills one.
D3, not necessarily.
He doesn't. Well, no, that guy was on a wound.
Oh, okay, yes,
the
that's
lieutenant.
True.
So it is now my lieutenant and Gorman Ghastly going toe to toe. What about the Raptor champion? He's got a power fist. He definitely doesn't want a dark pact.
He definitely.
It's 2 wounds. He only needs to take 2 wounds.
I'm going to do it.
Okay. Okay.
There's a theme. And again, it's like when it goes wrong, it's funny. 6.
It works. Right, yeah. He's doing sustained?
He's going to do sustained. Yeah.
Yes. Right. 3 attacks. He's a champion, right? It's got to be 3.
It is 3. Hitting on 3s.
Hits once. Wounds on a 3.
Yeah. It wounds.
It wounds. I need a 4. Or dead fire strike servo turret. Dead fire strike servo turret. Which means he could turn and tag the gladiator, which is a problem. And the gladiator rev its engines, didn't hurt it at all. Now we're going to come back to... We'll come back to my lieutenant in the middle.
Yeah.
We'll come back over here. Hellblasters versus Venom Crawler. I'm going to Dark Pact. It failed. See, it failed. Because we believe in the Emperor of Mankind. Dark Pacts don't work for us, you see.
Yes.
No one in the comment section say that the 13th have been Dark Pacting since the dawn of time. We have not been Dark Pacting since the dawn of time. Look at all those hits. I need 6s though. I do 2 6s to him. 2 3-up saves on the Venom Crawler. It's down to 4 wounds remaining. And then we have the Assault Intercessors into the Cultists. 13th, Praying to the Dark Gods is not confirmed. That's not a thing. 3s to wound the Cultists. 4 6-up saves. Take down 4 of them. And my lieutenant raises his master-crafted power sword and hits Gormenghast. Remember at the beginning you said he won't die.
You can't kill him.
Well, we'll find out.
You can't kill him.
We'll find out. 2s to hit. I hit 4 times. Strength 5.
Toughness 5.
Toughness 5?
Yes.
1 wound.
Yes.
-2, 2 damage. It's a 50-50 chance he dies.
I've got the ability to turn a damage to 0.
Right, once per battle.
Yes. I'm wondering whether I should save it for a bigger gun. No, he's gonna shrug off that.
He's gonna turn it to 0.
Yes.
What's that ability called?
Chaos Familiar.
Chaos Familiar.
Yes.
Basically, I stabbed his pet pig or something. His pet frog jumped in front.
Yeah.
Okay. And that is the end of Forces of Chaos turn 4. Gormenghast locked up in toe-to-toe with my lieutenant. This thing is sabotaging a thing, but there's a Redemptor Dreadnought that wants to come and do something about that. And you're on that objective. Gormenghast is on this objective. Technically, Havoc is still on this objective here, scoring this one. You brought down 1 Dreadnought for Bring It Down, and I'm on 2 objectives over there. As we go to Space Marines turn 4. At the start of turn 4 for my Space Marines, it's 49 to 45. We're finally in the lead by 4 points and no prisoners. We want to kill Gormenghastly and storm the hostile objective. In Chaos's backfield, I spent a CP on adaptive strategies so the Hellblasters can fall back, shoot and charge. They're in the tactical doctrine. And we have not stormed that hostile objective yet. But if I kill that Havoc, we have stormed that hostile objective. Because right now, we have the same OC. So if I shoot him and kill him, good, stormed it. Otherwise, the Redemptor Dreadnought will come around here and shoot and, well, storm this hostile objective by punching the Rhino. It won't stop the sabotaging of it, though, however. So I'd rather like to kill the Hellblaster with shooting, because then I can shoot that and stop the sabotaging hit. That's what can happen here. Stop all of this happening. And then in the backfield, that Raptor's in combat with a tank. He's about to get countercharged. And then in the middle, of course, I didn't pull my lieutenant out of noble combat.
Even though he wanted to.
With the Chaos Lord, I thought about it. I didn't think about it. But we're staying in there. And we're going to slay him just naturally because we have no prisoners as well. Kill as much as possible. So let's overcook some plasma guns, shoot this havoc up here, drop dice don't count, get lots of points. It's my oath of moment target. It's got to be my oath of moment target. We're hitting on 3s. I didn't even need to make it my oath of moment target. Well, it does mean I wound it on 2s. And those are all the wounds. And these are all 5-up saves.
I tried,
and he's
not
dead.
very hard.
And then we've got hazardous checks. And I'm okay. Killed a thing, stormed a thing. So I don't need to storm this hostile objective here. So I can just shoot everything at the Rhino. Starting off with a fast strike servo turret, which hits twice. And twin linked. 3-up save, you got cover. That's 3 damage. It goes all the way back down to 4 wounds after recovering so many wounds. And then the Redemptor Dreadnought will not overcook because he's only on 4 wounds remaining and shoots in 7 times. But he hits on 4s, and because it didn't overcook, winning on 5s. That many wounds, and these are 5-up saves. And it's still on 2 wounds remaining. That's fine. I'm going to charge him, but let's see what the Brute gun does. 2 6s and it's dead anyway with devastating. No, that's a 3-up save. It's on 1 wound, and the missile has 3 shots and hits all the times and wounds twice.
4s.
And kills it.
Yep.
So the Chaos Space Marines fail to sabotage that objective. Over here, the tank isn't going to shoot that thing. I'm going to kill it by punching it. Over here, my lieutenant has a pistol. So while we're locked up in combat, he pulls out his pistol and hits. A wound on a 4, wounds, and you need a 2-up Terminator plate save. It's a Neo Volkite pistol, and you're alive. That's the end of my shooting phase. So let's charge. Charge here with your Raptors. We'll go straight to the fist.
Yeah.
We wound on 2s. They both wound. 2 5-up saves. We take him down. So he's gone. We've cleared our backfield. And now we come to the epic fight. Warlord on Warlord action. And defenders get to fight first. And he's on 2 wounds.
I'm going to do it.
Don't do it.
I'm going to do it. Oh,
he fails his dark pact. Hear me now, Lord. No.
Oh, dear. And he's teleporting back up to Battle Barge.
He gets sucked
He's just remembered.
Into the warp. We'll walk on the thing.
Oh, dear.
Yes. That's the thing that happened. Okay. Then we came back over here to the Assault Intercessors fighting the cultists, and we tore them down. And so at the end of turn 4, that gives the 13th a score of 58 to the Chaos Space Marines 45. And in the start of turn 5 for the Chaos Space Marines, they're not on any of the objectives. So they won't pick up any of the primaries. And
I'm afraid I have to end it. This is the way the world ends.
This is the way the world ends. Yeah, we're just chatting off camera. We had a look at a couple of the secondaries over there. And Gorman Ghastly, he's gone now.
He's popped back home.
Yeah.
So you put the tea on.
He's gone back out. He's gone for tea and biscuits.
Yep.
So we just checked the secondary cards and all that. The final score would have been 78 to the Space Marines and 45 to the Chaos Space Marines, or 88-55 once you add on the painting standards. It was close until it wasn't. That was a glorious game.
It was great fun.
Thanks for coming down one more time, Poodle.
That's okay. It was always fantastic fun. Play on these boards with you. Awesome. Thank you.
Thank you. And thank you also for watching this battle report. We do hope you enjoyed it. The 13th definitely did not pray to the dark gods. That was definitely Freudian. That didn't happen. Well, I'll edit that out. Happy wargaming.